Okay, I promised this in a previous video, and now we are finally here ready to look at it. I'm sorry it took me a few more days than I wanted it to, but it is time for a new film review of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, Thunderbolts. Even despite my somewhat waning interest in the MCU as of late, this was a movie that I was pretty interested in when I first heard about it because of it featuring characters like Yelena, Red Guardian, US Agent, and of course Bucky, and I thought the trailers were pretty entertaining too. I missed out on it while it was in theaters, but I finally got to catch it thanks to its recent Disney Plus release, and even with my excitement for it, this one really threw me for a loop. Even though it's not my absolute favorite MCU movie, I honestly think that this might be the most ambitious MCU movie I've seen in a minute, and even though it has its issues, it does take some legitimately big swings that I was very surprised at. I was genuinely surprised to see an MCU movie that centered itself thematically on something like mental health, and I think it handles that theme with genuine love and care. I do have some issues with the writing, which may be the dude with a screenwriting degree part of me kicking in. But I think the movie is a little too chatty in a bit of an overly expositional way, and I think it can be a little tonally inconsistent at some points. It's meant to play things a bit darker, but it tries to have some of the typical MCU quips and humor here and there, and I think those two tones can kind of be at odds with each other at some points. But I at least appreciate that this movie doesn't really feel like a test you didn't know you had to study for. It's thoroughly entertaining even if you haven't seen the 50 MCU movies and TV shows that preceded it. And honestly, I'm just glad the movie is a thoroughly entertaining time. It throws you into the action right from the jump and manages to be fast-paced, but not overwhelmingly so. I thought the characters were very memorable. There were some great emotional moments here too, and the acting was fantastic across the board. Florence Pugh obviously steals the show. You know she's a great actress and she's awesome as Yelena. Sebastian Stan and David Harbour are great as well, but the real highlight for me was Louis Pullman as Bob. Bob, you'll come to learn, is a very layered character, and I think Pullman nails every single layer of him pretty much perfectly. He was really a highlight of the movie for me. While I kind of see how this movie was a little harder to market, it does make me kind of sad that it underperformed a little bit at the box office because it's a pretty refreshing MCU flick, and I really hope it finds an audience that it couldn't find in theaters now that it's on Disney+. On my rating scale, Thunderbolts is going to get a great rating from me. Like I said, not my absolute favorite MCU film, but it's definitely a very ambitious turn for the canon, and I look forward to seeing these characters return in Avengers Doomsday. Give this a look if you haven't already.